So good morning, everyone. We're reciting the Great Compassion Mantra. We'll be starting very soon. If you wish to follow along in the chant book, the Great Compassion Mantra is in the CDDB handbook from pages here. (32 to 35). 32 to 35, if you want to follow along in the book. 如果你要念诵大悲咒，我们从32页到35页，可以一起跟着。我们先开始会念诵炉香赞，在57页。Begin with the incense praise on page 57. Welcome to our Great Compassion Mantra Dedication of Merit. Today what we'll be doing is the incense praise, followed by Namo Dabe Guanshiying Pusa 3 times, and then 21 times Great Compassion Mantra and Dedication of Merit.我们今天从炉香赞开始，然后念观音菩萨圣号3遍，然后大悲咒21遍，然后最后回向功德。好，我们也会讲一点法。We'll also do some Dharma sharing. Lu Xiang Zai Rui Ai Fa Jie Mo I 啊， I 发觉， 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 I ai mu za ai nam mô giảng duy hình ai ai bu da ai mu ai mu ai mu ai mu da ai nam mô giảng duy hình ai ai bu da ai mu ai mu ai mu sa. Nam mô Da Bê Quan Yu Yin Buddhai. Nam mô Da Bê Quan Yu Yin Buddhai. Nam mô Da Bê Quan Yu Yin Buddhai. Nam mô A Đà Đô La Ye Ye. Nam mô A Li Yen Bồ Lu Ye Li Yam Bồ La Ye Bồ Di San Nam Bồ Mô San Nam Bồ Yen Mô Nha Lu Ni Ya Ye Nan Cha Ban La Ba Ye Do Dan Do Da Yen Nam Mô Jin Ye Li Do I Mang A Li Bồ Lu Ye Li Zhi Ban La Len Dom Mô Nam Mô No Lai Jin Ye Ji Li Mô Ban Do Da Me Da Bồ Wan Do Zhi Bang A Zhi Ling Da Bo Da Do Nam Mô Bo Dan Do Nam Mô Bo Jin Mo Ba Dan Do Da Zhi Do Wan No Bo Lu Ji Lu Ja Di Ja Lu Di Ji Li Mo Bu Ni Da Do Da Bo Dam Mo Mo Lan Mo Lai Mo Jin Mo Ji Li Do Yin Ji Lu Jam Do Lu Ba Ja Ye Di Mo Ba Ja Ye Di Do Lan Di Lin Ni Zhi Ban La Yen Ja Lai Mo Mo Ban Mo Mu Di Li Ji Ji Zhi No Lai Jam Bo Lai Ji Li Ba Jam Bo Lai Ji Ye U Lu Mo Lai U Lu Ji Do Lai Ji Li Du Lu Bu Di Ye Bu Do Ye Mi Di Li Ye No Lai Jin Zhi Li Li Ja Nin Nam Bo Yen Mo No Zam Ji Do Ye Zhuan Bo Mo Ji Do Ye Zhuan Bo Ji Do Ye Zhi Ban La Ye Zhuan Bo No Lai Jin Zhi Zhuan Bo Mo Lai No Lai Zhuan Bo Ji Du Zhen Nam Mo Ji Ye Zhuan Bo Zhen Bo Mo Ji Do Ye Zhuan Bo Zhe Ji La Ji Do Ye Zhuan Bo Bo Do Mo Ji Ji Do Ye Zhuan Bo No Lai Jin Zhi Ban Ji La Ye Zhuan Bo Mo Bo Li Zhen Ji La Ye Zhuan Bo Nam Mo Lai Dan Na Do La Ye Ye Nam Mo Li Yen Bo Lu Ji Ya Ban La Ye Zhuan Bo Wan Ji Nan Do Man Do La Ba Do Ye Zhuan Bo Nam Mo Lai Dan Na Do La Ye Ye Nam Mo Li Yen Bo Lu Ji Li Zhao Dom Bo Yen Mo Dan Dom Bo Yen Mo Ja Lu Ni Ja Ye Nan Ja Ban La Ba Ye Zhu Dan Do Da Ye Nam Mo Ji Ji Li Do I Mong A Li Yen Bo Lu Ji Zhi Ban La Dom Bo Nam Mo No La Jin Ji Ji Lim Mo Man Do Zam Mi Ja Bo A Do Do Zhi Mong A Zhi Ling Ja Bo Dan Do Nam Mong Bo Dan Do Nam Mo Bo Jin Mo A Zhi Do Da Zhi Do Bo Lu Jin Lu Ja Ni Ja La Ni Xin Lim Mo Bu Di Zan Do Zam Bo Zam Mo Lan Mo Ji Li Do Yin Ji Lu Ja Du Lu Ba Sha Ye Din Mo Ba Sha Yen Din Do La Di Lin Ni Zhi Ba真来mo mo ban ma来mo di li xi shi shi no我来真我来这里吧真我来这呼噜mo来呼噜叽里哆来叽里嘟噜不听言不多言mi的里言我来进去里里站不言mo那张不记多也张不问mo记多也张不记多也是满来也张不问我来进去张不问我来no来张 西卢赞南无耶耶赞波文赞波摩西多耶赞波这吉拉西多耶赞波波多摩耶吉多耶赞罗拉金智班杰拉耶赞波摩波利真杰拉耶赞波南无文来南那多拉耶耶南无利耶波卢杰亚班拉耶赞波文吉丹多曼多拉巴多耶赞波南无文来南那多拉耶耶南无瓦利耶波卢杰利亚班拉菩提三等波耶摩三等波耶摩迦卢尼迦耶南迦班拉巴耶娑南多大揭南无吉吉利多伊蒙阿婆卢揭尼智巴拉南等波南曼多拉金智吉林摩曼多萨弥萨波万多多智邦阿智灵萨波赞多南蒙波赞南蒙波金摩巴德多大智多文多波卢揭卢迦提迦罗尼吉利摩菩提萨萨摩赞摩摩兰摩兰摩金摩吉利多因吉卢吉卢迦曼多卢多卢巴遮耶利摩巴遮耶多兰多兰地林尼智巴拉耶遮拉遮拉摩摩巴摩兰摩地利吉智诺智诺阿拉真波来遮利巴遮巴三波来遮耶乌鲁乌鲁摩来乌鲁乌鲁吉多来多来吉利吉利嘟噜嘟噜菩提言菩提言菩多言菩多言弥勒利耶诺来金智地利迦尼多言摩那赞波吉多耶赞波摩吉多耶赞波吉多耶智巴拉耶赞波那来金智萨波摩那来赞波吉卢赞南波吉赞波赞波摩阿吉多耶赞波阿吉拉阿吉多耶赞波摩多尼吉多耶赞波罗拉金智班杰拉耶萨波摩摩利真杰拉耶萨波南无文来南来多拉耶南无阿利耶波罗揭谛萨波拉耶萨波安吉登多曼多拉巴多耶萨波南无文来南来多拉耶耶南无阿利耶波罗揭谛萨波拉耶菩提萨埵波耶摩萨埵波耶摩诃萨埵尼迦耶含萨玛拉巴伊苏丹多拉耶南无吉吉利多伊蒙阿利耶波罗揭谛萨波拉真多波南无多拉金智吉利摩巴多萨弥萨波多多日波阿日林萨波萨多南无波萨多南无波耶摩巴多多大智多文那波卢吉卢迦提迦罗提吉利摩菩提萨多萨波萨摩摩来摩来摩吉摩吉利多林吉如吉如吉嘟嘟嘟嘟巴遮耶利摩巴遮耶利多来多来利利利日巴拉耶真来真来摩摩巴摩来摩利利吉吉智那智那摩拉真摩来遮利巴遮巴真摩来遮耶呼噜呼噜摩来呼噜呼噜吉利多来多来吉利吉利嘟嘟嘟嘟菩提耶菩提耶菩萨耶菩萨耶弥勒利耶多来吉智地利萨地那波耶摩那萨波诃吉多耶萨波诃摩诃吉多耶萨波诃吉多耶耶萨波拉耶萨波诃诺来金智萨波诃摩来诺来萨波诃吉卢萨阿摩揭耶萨波诃萨波摩诃阿吉多耶萨波诃遮吉拉阿吉多耶萨波诃摩多摩揭吉多耶萨波诃诺来金智班杰拉耶萨波诃摩多利真杰拉耶萨波南无文来南来多拉耶南无阿利耶波罗揭谛萨波拉耶萨波安吉登多曼多拉巴多耶萨波南无文来南来多拉耶南无阿利耶波罗揭谛萨波拉耶菩提萨埵波摩赞埵波耶摩迦卢尼迦耶含萨玛拉巴伊苏丹那那耶南无吉吉利多伊蒙阿利耶波罗揭罗拉南多波他摩那那金智吉利摩巴多萨弥萨多哈萨多日本阿日因萨波萨多南无波萨多南无波金摩巴多多三世他哈波罗吉卢迦提迦罗提吉利摩菩提萨多萨波萨摩来摩来摩吉摩吉利多因吉罗提人间得得得得巴多耶利摩巴多耶利多来多来利利利多波来真来真来摩摩巴摩来摩利利一西一西智那智那哈拉真摩来遮利巴遮巴遮摩来遮耶呼噜呼噜摩来呼噜呼噜吉利多来多来吉利吉利多多多多菩提耶菩提耶菩萨耶菩萨耶弥勒利耶那那金智地利萨地那波耶摩那萨波诃吉多耶萨波诃摩诃吉多耶萨波诃吉多耶萨波那耶萨波诃那那金智萨波诃摩那那那萨波
Dinatang amude sapo sapo mo aditoye sapo sadila aditoye sapo mono nete ditoye sapo najindu pante nae sapo mono nete ditoye sapo anai tanai doraye namo hariye bolu nete sapo nae sapo ajidandu bandora badoye sapo tanai doraye namo Paro dede sapalaye buri sato poye mo sato poye mo sato ridaye hasapala ma isuna nana namo sese rido ibangariye paro de nananda po namo nana jindu riri mo pato same sato hana dosu bangaro yin sapo sato namo po sato namo po se mo pato do santu sa Dujani janodi siri pa buri sato sapo sapo mona mona mosi mosi rido yin siru 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 turu turu pato yedi mo pato yedi torai torai di 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 mama mona muri di isi isi sena sena hala sen morai se pato pato morai se e huru huru morai huru huru si sorai sorai siri siri suru suru huriye huriye Buddhaya Buddhaya Niye nana jindu riki sari napo Mona sapo ho sidoye sapo ho mo sidoye sapo Yi subhanaye sapo ho nana jindu sapo ho Mona nana sapo Jina sanghamudeye sapo ho sapo mo sidoye sapo Na sidoye sapo ho mo sidoye sapo Jindu bhanje nae sapo ho Mona jindu nae sapo Nanai nanai doraye namo hariye bolu nete sapo nae sapo Ajidandu mandora badoye sapo Nanai nanai doraye namo hariye bolu nete sapo nae buri sato poye mo sato poye Jado ridaye hansama narahe sudana nase namo sisi ridaye mangariye bolu nete Sampo sampo nana jindu siri mo pato same sato hana dosu banghasu yin sapo sato namo po sato namo po se mo pato to santu sa Dudi dujati sato di siri mo budi sato sapo sapo monai monai mosi mosi rido yin siru 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 Turu turu pato yedi mo pato yedi torai torai di 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 Torai torai mo monai muri di isi isi sena sena ala sen bolai se Padan bolai se e huru huru monai huru huru siri sorai sorai siri siri suru suru buriye buriye budoye budoye Nana jindu riri sari napo e mona sapo ho sidoye sapo ho mo sidoye sapo ho sidoye ye sapo na e sapo ho nana jindu sapo ho mona nana sapo Jinanda amude e sapo sapo mo sidoye sapo sadila sidoye sapo ho rono nana sidoye sapo Jindu bhanje na e sapo ho mono sidoye na e sapo Namo Hanai Tanai Doraye Namo Hariye Bolu Tete Sapo Naye Sapo Anji Tendu Bandona Badoye Sapo Namo Hanai Tanai Doraye Namo Hariye Bolu Tete Sapo Naye Buri Satopo Satopo Ema Sado Dijaye Hansa Malabai Sudana Nase Namo Tete Ridoi Manghariye Bolu Tete Vananan Sapo Namo Nana Jindu Tete Maho Bado Same Sato hana dosu banghasu yin sapo sato namo po sato namo po se mo pato to santu sa haburu tidu jadi jarodi sato sapo sapo mona mona mosi mosi hido yin siru 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 Doro doro pato yedi mo pato yedi torai torai di 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 suhorai torai torai mo morai muri di ese ese torai torai ala dun morai torai hu ru di di so lai di di ru ru hu di ye hu ro ye hu ro di ye na na jin du di so di na bo mo na sa bo di do ye sa bo mo di do ye sa bo di do ye sa bo la ye sa bo na na jin du sa bo na na sa bo di du sa mo de sa bo mo di do ye sa bo di la di do ye sa bo mo di do ye sa bo di du ma de la ye sa bo mo di la ye sa bo na na do la ye na mo di ye bo ru de sa bo la ye sa bo an ji dan do ban do la ba do ye sa bo na mo na do la ye na mo di ye bo ru de sa bo la ye bo di sa do bo sa do bo ye ba sa do di sa ye han sa ba la ba ye so na na de na mo di di do yi mong a di ye bo ru de na na do bo na mo na na jin du di mo ba do sa me sa do ha da do do bang a su yin sa bo sa do na mo bo sa do na bo de mo ba do do da du na ha bo do di do da di sa do di di abo sa bo mo na mo si di do yin di do do ba do ye di mo ba do ye di do la di do la mo la mo di ye de do la ha la den ba la do ye ba den ba la do ye hu ru mo la hu ru di do la di do hu ri ye hu do ye hu do mi di ye na na di di da di na mo la sa bo di do ye sa bo mo di do ye sa bo di do ye sa bo la ye sa bo na la di du sa bo mo na na sa bo yin sa a mu je sa bo mo di do ye sa bo do di la di do ye sa bo mo di do ye sa bo na na la ye sa bo mo no di de la ye sa bo namo na do la ye na di ye bo ru de sa bo la ye sa bo an di dan do ban do la ba do ye sa bo na do la ye na di ye bo ru de sa bo la ye bo di sa do bo ye bo sa do bo ye ma sa do ni sa ye han sa ba la ba i do na de do yi mong a di ye bo ru de sa bo la do bo na mo na na jin du di ma ba do la me la na do ru bang a do yin sa bo la ba da do na ba de mo ba da do na du na ha ba do di do da di na di ma bo di la do la ba la mo la mo di ba di do yin di do do ba do ye di ma ba do ye di do la di do ba la mo la mo di do la den ba la do ye ba den ba la do ye ru mo la ru di so la di do hu di ye hu do ye hu do di ye na na din du di do di na bo mo na sa bo di do ye sa bo mo di do ye sa bo di sa bo la ye sa bo no na din du sa bo mo na sa bo di nun chung a mu je ye sa bo mo a di do ye sa bo so di la di do ye sa bo mo no di do ye sa bo na la din du ban de la ye sa bo mo no ni de la ye sa bo an lai do la ye na di ye bo ru de sa bo la ye sa bo an ji dan du ban do la ba do ye sa bo na mo an lai do la ye na di ye bo ru de sa bo la ye bo di la do bo ye mo sa do ni sa ye han sa ba la ba ye su na de na mo de do yi mong a di ye bo ru de ya len do bo na mo na jin du di mo ba do la me la na do ru bang a do yin sa bo la do na mo bo sa do bo de mo ba do da du na ha bo do di do da di da do di mo bo di da do la bo la mo di do yin di do do ba do ye di mo ba do ye di do la di do ba la ye do la mo la mo di Sana hala san ba la sa ye ba da ba san ba la sa ye hu ru mo la hu ru si sa la di 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 sa la hu di ye hu ra ye hu ra di di ye na na di di sa di na pa ma na sa pa ha di ra ye sa pa ha ma di ra ye sa pa di sa pa la ye sa pa ha na na di du sa pa ha ma na 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 sa pa di na sa a mu de ye sa pa ma di ra ye sa pa sa di la di ra ye sa pa na na di ra ye sa pa di du man de la ye sa pa ha ma ra di de la ye sa pa ma ha na 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 do la ye na ha di ye pa de de sa pa la ye sa pa adi dan du ban da la ba do ye sa pa na ma na 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 do la ye na ha di ye pa de de sa pa la ye pa di sa do pa sa do pa ye ma sa do ni sa ye han sa pa la ba ye do la na na de di di do yi mong a di ye pa de de sa pa la na da pa na ma na na di de di di ma ha pa do sa me sa da ha da do ru pa ha do yin sa pa sa do sa pa pa sa do ye ma pa do do na du tha ha pa do di do sa di na na di 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 ma pa di sa do sa pa sa no lai mo lai si mo si di do yin di do di na de do pa do ye di ma pa do ye di do lai di di sa pa la ye do lai mo lai mo di 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 do la san pa lai sa pa san pa lai sa ye hu do mo lai hu do di do lai di di do hu di ye hu do ye hu do di di ye na na di di sa di na pa ma na sa pa ha di da ye sa pa ma di da ye sa pa do ye sa pa la ye sa pa ha na na di du sa pa ha ma na 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 sa pa di na sa a mu de ye sa pa ma di da ye sa pa sa di la di da ye sa pa na na di da ye sa pa na di du pan de la ye sa pa ma na di de la ye sa pa namo kanai danai dora ye namo hari ye bolu de sa pa la ye sa pa anji dandu mandala bado ye sa pa namo kanai danai dora ye namo hari ye bolu de sa pa la ye boli sa do pa ye pa jadu ni sa ye han sa pa la ma hi su na 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 de namo de di do ye mong hari ye bolu de nyanin da pa namo na na di do di ma pa do sa me sa na na do ru bang ha ru in sa pa sa do na mo pa sa na pa de ma pa do do na du tha ma pa do di do sa di sa do di ma bu di sa do sa pa ma na ma di do in di ru da do pa do ye di ma pa do ye di do la di do pa la ma la mu di sa na ha la san pa la do pa la do ye hu do ma la hu do di do la di hu di ye hu do ye mi di ye na la di la di na ma na sa pa di do ye sa pa ma di do ye sa pa di do ye sa pa na la di du sa pa ma na na sa pa di na sa a mu de sa pa ma di do ye sa pa di la di do ye sa pa na na ye di do ye sa pa di du pan de la ye sa pa di de la ye sa pa ma na na do la ye na ma di ye bo ru de sa pa la ye sa pa adi na do ban do la ba do ye sa pa na mo na do la ye na ma di ye bo ru de sa pa la ye bo di sa do pa ye ma ja do di sa ye sa pa la ba ye do na na de na ma de di do ye mong ha di ye bo ru de na na do pa na ma na di do di ma pa do sa me sa na do ru bang ha ru in sa pa sa do na ma pa sa do na ha de ma pa do na du tha do da di da di ma bu di sa do la ma na ma si di do in di do pa do ye di ma pa do ye di do la di do pa la ye do la ma la mu di do la san pa la sa pa la sa ye hu do ma la hu do si di do la di do hu di ye hu do ye hu mi ri ni ye na na di nu di di do di na mo mo na sa pa ho di do ye sa pa ho mo di do ye sa pa ho di do ye da ye sa pa ho na di du sa pa ho mo na 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 sa pa di nu tu a mu de ye sa pa mo di do ye sa pa do di na di do ye sa pa no no mo di do ye sa pa di du ban de la ye sa pa no di de la ye sa pa Namo Hariye Boro De De Sapa Naye Sapa Adi Dendo Bandara Bado Ye Sapa Namo Banai Danai Doraye Diye Boro De De Sapa Naye Bori Dada Boye Maha Dada Boye Maha Dado Nidaya Sapa Labai Nanda De Namo De De Dido Imang Hariye Boro De De Sapa Nada Sapa Namo Nana Jindu Didi Maha Bado Same Dada Dada Rupang Hariye Sapa Dada Namo Bada Namo Bada Dada Dada Boro Sido Jadi Dada Didi Maha Bori Dada Sapa Namo Modi Modi Dido Indi Didi Dada Bada Yedi Maha Bada Yedi Dada Dada Didi Didi Bada Yedi Dada Dada Mamo Mamo Lai Modi Didi Dada Dada Radin Bada Bada Dada Uru Uru Malai Uru Uru Di Dada Didi Didi Dada Dada Huriye Huriye Budoye Budoye Didi Dada Didi Didi Dadi Nabo Mona Sapa Didoye Sapa Didoye Sapa Didoye Sapa Naye Sapa Nana Jindu Sapa Morana Sapa Dinanda Amude Sapa Sapa Mo Didoye Sapa Sadila Didoye Sapa Mona Mona Didoye Sapa Ajindu Bande Naye Sapa Mona Dinde Naye Sapa Nanai Nanai Daraye Namo Hariye Boro De De Sapa Naye Sapa Ajindu Bandara Badoye Sapa Namo Nanai Nanai Daraye Namo Hariye Boro De De Sapa Buri Dada Boye Mo Dada Boye Mo Dada Nidaya Rabai Sudana Dede Dido Imang Hariye Boro De De Sapa Nanda Bora Mona Jindu Dede Mo Bada Dame Dada Dada Rupang Hariye Sapa Dada Namo Bada Dada Dada Boro Sido Jadi Dada Dede Mo Buri Dada Sapa Mora Mori Mori Dido Indi Dede Dede Dada Dada Bada Yedi Mo Bada Yedi Dada Dada Dede Dede Sapa Momo Momo Lai Muri De Yede Yede Dada Dada Radin Balai Bada Bada Dora Daya Uru Uru Malai Uru Uru Dede Dora Dora Dede Dede Duru Duru Buriye Buriye Budoye Budoye Niye Nana Jindu Didi Dadi Nabo Mona Sapa Didoye Sapa Mo Didoye Sapa Didoye Sapa Naye Sapa Nana Jindu Sapa Mona Nana Sapa Amude Sapa Sapa Mo Didoye Sapa Dadila Didoye Sapa Mona Nana Didoye Sapa Jindu Bandila Sapa Mo Didoye Sapa Doraye Namo Hariye Boro De De Sapa Naye Sapa Adi Dandu Bandara Badoye Sapa Namo Bandai Danai Doraye Namo Hariye Boro De De Sapa Naye Bori Dada Boye Dada Boye Mo Dadu Nidaye Khanda Bala Bai Dada Dada Namo De De Dido Imang Hariye Boro De Dada Sapa Namo Nana Jindu Dede Mo Bado Dame Dada Dada Rupang Hariye Sapa Dada Namo Bada Namo Bade Mo Bado Dada Boro Sido Jadi Dada Didi Mo Buri Dada Sapa Modi Modi Dido Indi Dede Dede Dada Dada Bada Yedi Mo Bado Yedi Dada Dada Didi Sapa Naye Dada Dada Mo Lai Modi Didi Dada Dada Dun Morai Daye Bada Dun Morai Daye Uru Uru Malai Uru Uru Didi Dada Dada Didi Didi Dada Dada Buriye Buriye Budoye Budoye Bidi Dada Didi Didi Dadi Nabo Mona Sapa Sabo mo di do ye sabo di do ye sabo la ye sabo sabo mo la na na sabo di na na mo ye sabo sabo mo di do ye sabo di na di do ye sabo mo la na di do ye sabo na na di do ban de la ye sabo mo la na di la ye sabo Namo Anai Lanai Lanai Namo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Laye Sabo Andi Lendo Bandara Bado Ye Sabo Namo Anai Lanai Lanai Namo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Laye Buri Sadabo Sadabo Eva Jada Hidahi Sabo Labai Sada Lale Namo Dede Hidahi Hariye Bolo Lele Lananda Namo Nara Jindu Dede Mahabara Name Nara Nara Rabangadu Yin Sabodado Namo Bodado Bode Mabododo Dantuta Bodo Dido Yadi Nara Hiri Mahuri Dado Saboda Molai Modi Modi Dido Yin Dido 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 Vado Yedi Mahabado Yedi Dorai Dorai Didi Daya Dorai Dorai Mamo Mamo Lai Mudi Didi Didi Dorai Hala Sun Varai Dorai Hara Hara Huru Hara Huru Se Dorai Dorai Didi Didi Dorai Dorai Huriye Huriye Huraye Huraye Niye Nana Didi Didi Dodi Nava Vana Sapa Sidaye Sapa Sidaye Sapa Sidaye Sapa Laye Sapa Nura Didi Sapa Morana Sapa Indu Amude Sapa Sapa Ma Sidaye Sapa Sasila Sidaye Sapa Nura Sidaye Sapa Sidaye Sapa Moro Sidaye Sapa Namo Anai Lanai Lanai Namo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Laye Sabo Adi Lendo Bandara Bado Ye Sabo Namo Anai Lanai Lanai Namo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Laye Buri Sadabo Sadabo Ye Mo Jalo Hidaye Handaba Rava Isuna Nane Namo Sede Hidaye Mo Hariye Bolo Lele Lananda Namo Nana Jindu Sede Mo Bado Lame Nana Nana Bangadu In Sabo Sado Namo Bado Namo Bode Mo Bado Santuta Bado Dido Jadi Dado Sede Mo Sabo Sabo Mona Mona Modi Modi Dido In Dido Dido Dada Dada Bado Yedi Mo Bado Yedi Dora Dora Didi Dada Dada Momo Momo Rai Muri Didi Dada Dada Hara Dada Dada Hara Dada Hara Huru Didi Dada Dada Didi Didi Dada Dada Huriye Huriye Huroye Huro Didi Dada Jindu Didi Dadi Namo Mora Sabo Didoye Sabo Didoye Sabo Sabo Laye Sabo Nana Jindu Sabo Mora Nana Sabo Didoye Amude Sabo Sabo Moa Didoye Sabo La Didoye Sabo Didoye Sabo Nana Jindu Didoye Sabo Didoye Sabo Anai Lanai Lanai Namo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Laye Sabo Adi Lendo Bandara Bado Ye Sabo Namo Anai Lanai Lanai Namo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Laye Buri Sadabo Sadabo Ye Mo Jado Nidaye Handaba Rava Isuna Nane Namo Sede Nidaye Mo Hariye Bolo Lele Sabo Namo Nana Jindu Sede Mahabada Same Nana Nana Bangadu In Sabo Sado Namo Bodado Namo Bode Mo Bodado Santuta Abado Dido Jadi Dado Didi Mo Budi Sado Sabo Sabo Mora Mora Modi Modi Dido In Dido Dido Dodo Dodo Bado Yedi Mo Bado Yedi Dora Dora Didi Dido Bada Ye Dora Dora Momo Momo Rai Mudi Didi Didi Dora Dora Hara Sun Dora Bada Hara Raya Hara Hara Mara Hara Hara Siri Sara Sara Siri Siri Dara Dara Buriya Buriya Budaya Budaya Diniya Nana Dinda Diri Sari Namo Emana Sapo Didoye Sapo Homo Didoye Sapo Isabara Sapo Nana Dindu Sapo Homo Nana Sapo Dindu Amude Sapo Sapo Mo Didoye Sapo Dodila Didoye Sapo Homo Didoye Sapo Homo Nana Nana Namo Hariye Varule Sabalaye Sapo Anji Dendu Bandora Badoye Sapo Namo Nana Doraye Namo Hariye Varule Sabalaye Varila Sapo Yola Sapoye Varada Hidaye Kanda Balabai Nana Namo Dede Hidaye Hariye Varule Sabala Sabala Varada Dede Mo Bada Sameda Hara Dara in Sabala Abada Dana Abade Mabada Dana Abada Zero Nadi Dana Dede Mabudi Dana Dana Mora Mora Modi Modi Doyin Diru Diru Dara Dara Bada Yedi Mabada Yedi Dara Dara Didi Dara Yedara Dara Mababa Mora Mudi Didi Dara 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 Huru Huru Mora Huru Huru Dara Dara Didi Didi Dara Huru Huriye Huriye Budoye Budoye Vidiniye Nana Dinda Didi Dina Bohe Mona Sapo Didoye Sapo Mo Didoye Sapo Didoye Sabana Sapo Nana Dindu Sapo Mona Sapo Dindu Amuje Sapo Sapo Mo Didoye Sapo Yadida Didoye Sapo Nana Didoye Sapo Nana Hariye Murade Sabalaye Sapo Ansidento Bandara Badoye Sapo.
Okay, all please be seated. 大家请坐。
我自己弄就好了。
So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, or good evening, if you're in other parts of the world. Welcome to our Great Compassion Mantra Dedication of Merit. We meet again. We've been doing this month by month, I think for, 6-7 months now, since the pandemic really got into full swing. There's been a team that's been reciting the Great Compassion Mantra together for all this time. And I got some statistics from them for this time. We have around 271 people participating from 12 different countries for a total of about 6,756 recitations a day, 209,436 recitations total. Although the numbers are impressive, I think we all know that what's most important is our sincerity of heart. One recitation that's really sincere is, you could say, much better than 108 recitations that are just kind of very scattered. But sometimes it takes the scattered recitations to get to that one sincere recitation. Today I thought of sharing some inspiring stories from the life of Master Hua. This one comes from his book called Herein Lies the Treasure Trove. It's kind of compiled Dharma talks. And I like this one because Master Hua is talking about the ultimate cure. Right? How do you really cure yourself from sickness? And what's the way? Master Hua talks about is the Great Compassion mantra. So, just to give a little bit of context, he says that during this time, there's a lot of people into this thing called therapeutic touch. It's been a kind of popular healing method where people use the human touch to try to heal people. And there's quite a bit of kind of research and you could say practices around this. Even one of our community members in Ukiah was part of this. She was a nurse. So he says, therapeutic touch is now in vogue, or very popular. However, it's a novel way of attracting people's attention. It's merely a change of name to old techniques. Basically, human hands don't really have the power to heal. If hands were endowed with such power, then the feet, head, or any other part of the body should be able to heal as well. To assert that the hands are capable of healing is a bit of a sensationalism. It's not the hands that do the healing. It's the mind. And that's very key. So there's the touch of the hand, but it's the intention of the mind. You could say that gives the hand its actual touch. I think we can feel it when somebody touches us with kindness, or somebody touches us with impure intentions, or somebody touches us and there's kind of aggressiveness behind it. You can feel it in the hand. So that comes from the mind. I know this from personal experience. Even more so, it's the Buddha's and Bodhisattva's aid that brings the most effective healing. And the best method to use is the Great Compassion mantra, what everyone's doing now. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and so really good to recite the Great Compassion mantra. And one level you could say, does that mean that we will completely not have any illnesses? Not for sure, but what happens, and we can't really see it so clearly, but the big disasters become small disasters, and the small disasters don't happen. So for instance, there's going to be a big issue around some sickness. By reciting Great Compassion mantra regularly with sincerity, somehow the sickness passes and people go on with their lives. Whereas if it was not that recitation, that practice, then it could have really been a big disaster. And those small disasters, they just disappear. The mantra can cure the myriad types of disease. It's not very easy to study, and most people don't know how to use it even after they learn it. But true cultivators don't need to bother with mastering the healing arts. Arts of healing are techniques still involved in externals and appearances. This is talking about the healing touch. It says if you have the Great Compassion mantra, you don't have to learn this kind of healing touch. You should instead learn to heal without relying on externals, on appearances, and not let others know you are helping them. This is the ultimate way to cure people. So recite the mantra, and we don't have to show off. We just do our recitation day by day. Then Master Hua tells a story. He says, my own experience with the Great Compassion mantra is that it is truly inconceivable. I will share a story. In 1947, while taking a boat from Shanghai to Hangzhou, I met a crippled person on board. He was lame and hobbled around on a crutch, so he couldn't walk, right? He didn't walk upright like most people, but was hunched over and crawled along the floor. He was so bent over he couldn't maintain a standing posture and was permanently squatting. Can you imagine how miserable that would be? Just having to always, bend over, kind of barely able to walk. Right? It's just a horrible, horrible life. We take oftentimes our health for granted, our ability even just to walk for granted. I saw right away that I could cure him, but I couldn't help him immediately because if I did, everyone on the boat who was sick would come rushing at me all at once. So I waited. The next day, the boat was scheduled to dock around 2 p.m. at Hangzhou. In the morning, the lame man hobbled right by in front of me. I asked him, "Why can't you stand up?" He said, "I was arrested for selling coal in the black market. Because the jail was so humid, my body got completely hunched over." I asked him, "Do you want to get well?" He said, "Yes." Then I said, "Throw your crutch into the river." He said, "Then I won't be able to get around at all." I said, "I'll help you get well." He said, "Really?" "Would I cheat you?" I replied. So this is quite an interesting exchange, right? This man told him the true story, that he was dishonest, and then got caught, and then got in jail, got, his problem. So what does he do? He believed me and threw his crutch into the river. Then I started to recite the Great Compassion Mantra and rubbed his knee at the same time. After I recited the mantra 7 times, I said, "Get up." And what do you know? He stood up. I said, "Start walking." And he did. I said, "Run." And he started to run. He ran around and around the deck. This immediately caused an uproar, and people asked him, "Why aren't you lame anymore?" I had forgotten to tell him not to mention me. So he pointed at me and said, "That's that old cultivator. He just touched me and my knees got well." So now the trouble begins. Suddenly I was surrounded by 70 or 80 people. One was saying, "Old cultivator, Lao Shouxing, my legs hurt." Another said, "My head hurts." Another said, "My back hurts. My joints ache." All of their illnesses came at me at once. Well, how could I possibly take care of them all? So I resorted to my expedients. "I guess you deserve a hit." So then I started hitting all of them. I slapped one on the head and his headache went away. One person complained about his sore arm, so I punched him in the arm and his arm stopped hurting. Someone's leg was sore, so I gave him a kick and the soreness disappeared. It was that effective. The cure worked immediately. There was no time to just try it out. It was an instant cure. By that time, people were convinced I was either a living Buddha or a living ghost. They made offerings. Some made $10,000, some made $30,000, $50,000. This time was actually a lot of inflation, and so prices were quite high. So just a train ride from Hangzhou to Canton was $20,000. But at any rate, I received over 90,000 in offerings in just one fell swoop. Many relatives wanted to make appointments for relatives and friends. One said, "I have a relative who had such and such an illness for years, and no doctor can cure him. When you arrive in Hangzhou, would you come to my home and touch him?" Another said, "I have a certain relative who has an incurable illness." So it went. 7 or 8 people approached, or rather accosted me. I didn't say yes, nor did I refuse. All I said was, "Let's talk it over when we get to Hangzhou." When the boat reached Hangzhou, while everyone was busy taking care of his luggage, I very quickly slipped away. From that experience, I realized that the power of the Great Compassion Mantra is inconceivable. The best thing for people involved in this therapeutic touch, say this healing touch, is to learn this mantra. Then you have some real skill. After you mastered it, the bodhisattvas will come and help you. It can really work wonders without any external aid. There is an instantaneous response, as in the case of curing that crippled man. It was right then and there. The mantra is truly efficacious medicine which can cure the myriad illnesses. It's quite a story, right? Quite a story about how the Great Compassion Mantra has ability to heal people. I know in other versions of the story, Master Hua says, he says, however, don't go around trying to heal people. I would say Master Hua maybe is at a different level than most of us. Don't think you have any special abilities, because when you go and try to heal people, you kind of get your karma tied up with that person's affinities. However, what we can do is just what we're doing now, is everyone reciting the Great Compassion Mantra together and transferring for the well-being of the world. And bit by bit, through all our energies, it helps the world get better, or at least get worse slower. I was going to share one more story, and then we can do our dedication of merit, because this one came to me by email, and I thought it was a really fun story about also the Great Compassion Mantra. So some person shared with me that they have a house with a big lawn in front, and raccoons come and love to eat the bugs under the grass. So they dig up the grass to eat the bugs underneath. So this person got somewhat irritated, thinking, gosh, this really messes up the lawn. The whole lawn is dug up. But then I thought about it, and I reflected that all they wanted to do was get some food to eat. So I stopped worrying about it. One of my neighbors told me, when he was walking the dog, that he had the same problem a few years back. And he just hired someone to catch the raccoons with traps. But he was really upset because they charged him more money to kill the raccoons. He wanted to give me the contact information for that service person, but I declined. I told him I was a Buddhist and did not kill. Things continued, and last week while I was hiking in the mountain, I decided to recite the Great Compassion Mantra 7 times and dedicated the merit to the raccoons, with a wish that if they come, to just stay in one area instead of the entire lawn. It seemed to work. And I really noticed the heart and mind change in my reaction to this incident. I welcomed them to visit and did not get angry at them. I heard people in the area killed gophers and raccoons trying to save their beautiful garden. Oh well. And oh well. Yeah. So I think you'll find that the Great Compassion Mantra is this really important tool we have in our toolkit to pull out when we see something that's not going so well. Try it out. You said the Great Compassion Mantra was a wholesome wish, saying, I wish that you will find happiness. You won't be so angry. For animals, you just eat your food in this little corner, right? If you have a situation, in different situations, you can dedicate merit for something to improve. And so, it's you could say, Rav Sri calls it, it's pretty magical. It's like a magical spell, you could say. But it's a very wholesome spell where you help people, help living beings find real happiness and stability. Okay, so that probably concludes our reflection. We can then do the dedication of merit. But just to finally say, encourage everyone to keep going. I know it's not easy to go month by month by month here, sheltered in place. I can feel it in myself. It's starting to get a little bit, feeling like, oh gosh, how long is this going to go on? And I think the best is still for us to just try to keep our heart in the Dharma, recite the mantra, do whatever Dharma practices we have. This is a really good time to practice patience and not add to the afflictions in the world. Because if anything, our world needs more patience and more kindness. Okay, 请问一下讲几句吗? Okay.
Okay. 我们希望这个 program 能够 continue 一直下去，每个月，大悲咒是来自大悲心。我们大家念诵大悲咒，就是有大悲心，有大悲心就能够像这个保护自己一样，也保护所有的社会一样的，能够得到平安。所以大家继续努力，不要中断，这个是非常好的。好，阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。So the Great Compassion Mantra is very important to continue going. Everyone keep going. 加油 or try your best. Okay. And this Great Compassion Mantra is the Great Compassionate Heart. By reciting the mantra, we tap into our Great Compassionate Heart. And so by having the Great Compassionate Heart, then we can benefit living beings. We protect ourselves and protect other people. So this is something very important to continue on. Don't give up. Keep going. Try your best.
Okay.
Okay. So we do the dedication of merit. This is the English version we do every day. But maybe begin, we'll just say, may the merit of this practice be dedicated to relieving the suffering in the world, especially from those suffering from the pandemic. And may the merit help the pandemic quickly disappear and go back to wherever it came from. And also may all those beings throughout the world suffering from natural disasters, who maybe lost their homes, who are in anxiety, may they also find peace and happiness. May our countries all around the world find peace and kindness. Okay. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruit of peace, with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see, our hands and hearts can find in giving unity. May our minds awake to bring compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassion and wise. May all become compassion and wise. 3 bows. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. Okay, so we'll start the 3 steps, 1 bow, followed by a memorial service at 9 a.m. for 2 of our community members, Miss Huynh and David Navarro. That'll be at 9 a.m. And we also have our regular recitation at 12:30 p.m. and followed by Dharma practice Q&A at 1 o'clock or 1:05. We're talking about making vows. 怎么发愿? That's at 1:05 to 2. So hope you can join us. Otherwise, wish you a good rest of the day. 我们现在3步1拜，然后今天我们9点钟会有一个法会，为我们2个居士刚刚往生，叫 David Navarro 跟 Miss Huynh， 所以这2位大家想参加，欢迎。我们今天12点半也念佛，然后1点钟会有一点讲法，也是发愿的道理，怎么发愿，发愿的重要性是什么？Wonderful. For all the harmful things I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. For all the harmful things I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. For all the harmful things I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. I'll do the 3 steps, 1 bow. For those who haven't joined us before, we first recite our, we bow fairly slowly. We take 3 steps and then bow down. Usually bowing down for maybe about 12, 13 seconds. You can follow the handbell if you wish. now do the dedication of merit. 我们现在回向功德。Put something or someone you care about in your heart, and share that with all living beings throughout the universe. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may our minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. That concludes our 3 steps, 1 vow. Hope you can join us for our memorial service at 9 a.m. 所以我们下个节目是9点钟的仪式，为2位居士往生的这个可以说往生堂回向。